I was able to travel all over the world, spent nights at ports and seen all the different things that a port could be. When you see trucks coming in and out of ports, it's the same as what the military did, in addition to getting shot at or bombs thrown at you. Logistics is the same everywhere you go. Commodities got to get from one place to another place. Sometimes it's point A to point B, sometimes it's point A, point B, and point C, depending on throughput.
That's right.
Nothing works without people. You take care of the people take care of the mission, and then the mission take care of you.
This is a project that you guys are working on.
It's a project that we're doing.
That's happening right now.
That's the beautiful part about it. We're not just talking about what we're going to do. We're talking about what we are doing. So if you expand on the land, you get in more cargo. More cargo means more people put to work, more people able to take care of their families.
Right.
Because it's all about the people.
Right. And that's how we fix the problem. Right?
That's how you fix a problem.
All right. Hustle fam, we are back with another amazing episode, and we are here live at the AAPA annual convention, and I am here with a very, very special guest, man. I have the Commissioner of Port Arthur. How do you pronounce Port? Is it Port Arthur or Port Arthur?
Let's just go with Arthur.
All right, cool. Let's go with Arthur. Because I know like some people pronounce the pronunciation is a little bit different for certain folks or whatever. So I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Well, I'm not French, so
I want to be respectful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, we're here with the Commissioner, man, Mr. Randy Martin. How are you, sir?
Doing wonderful, my man.
Yeah. How long have you been the Commissioner of Port Arthur?
7 years.
7 beautiful years, man. Yeah. Amazing. So I saw you walking around here with the hat. I said, that's the guy I got to talk to, man. I got to follow this guy, man. So very, very... what's interesting to me about Port Arthur is I believe it's like one of 13 ports in Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And it's a pretty small port, right?
Very small port.
Okay.
100 and some acres. Not very big at all.
Got it.
But we're growing though. We're expanding day by day. We're purchasing property. Right now we're in an expansion. More that we expand, the more land we get, the more people that go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does someone become the Commissioner of Port Arthur?
I think they gotta like you. No, you get elected. It's an elected position.
Okay.
Yeah, and I retired from the military. Well, I actually was elected a month before I retired from the Army. Yeah, and logistics has been my field since day one.
Okay. So let's talk about the beginning, man. You said you've been in logistics since day one, so you were in the military.
Yeah.
When did you go to military? What age?
17, 18.
17 years old. You're from the area?
From Port Arthur.
Let's talk about Port Arthur really quick because, from what I know, the only thing I know about Port Arthur is Bun B, right? Is from Port Arthur.
Yes, he is.
And I know that there's a lot of poverty.
Don't skip Pimp C. Don't say Bun B without saying Pimp C.
Pimp C and Bun B.
All right.
You're right. Rest in peace to Pimp C.
Yeah.
Both from Port Arthur. So UGK.
UGK. Yeah.
And then outside of that, man, I hear about a lot of just, poverty and a lot of struggle and, the community. There's a lot of challenges in Port Arthur. So tell me about your upbringing because you're from there. So, talk about it.
Yeah. Poverty is something that is prevalent in Port Arthur. Everywhere you go. When I got back, almost 20 years, I was like, man, y'all still ain't fixed this place. I'm like, what have y'all been doing while I was dodging bullets? Y'all just had a comfortable gravy life, just living like, you know what? Maybe they don't see it. Is the resolve that I had with myself. I was fortunate enough to travel everywhere to see what Port Arthur could be, and how could I hold them accountable if they never really seen it, You could dream about it, and when you handling day-to-day things, sometimes you don't have no time to dream about what it could be, But I was able to travel all over the world, spent nights at ports and seen all the different things that a port could be. The Port of Kuwait. I seen what the Port of Kuwait was and was like, man, we got almost everything in Port Arthur that Kuwait does, All the different refineries, that's one thing. Port Arthur is the largest oil refinery in North America.
Right.
Like, why isn't the city reflective of that? And I guess that was my charge in my mind. Hey, don't just complain about a change, make a change.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been on.
So what branch of the military did you join, or were you a part of?
U.S. Army.
U.S. Army. First of all, thank you for your service.
Very welcome.
And how long were you in the military?
I retired from the military with 17 and a half years. They carried me on to 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Quick word from our sponsor. Discover the hassle-free trailer leasing experience with Paramount Trailer Leasing, a family-owned business based out of the greater Fort Worth area. With more than 30 years of industry experience, they offer a range of high-quality trailers from flatbeds to dry vans and specialized models designed to meet all of your transportation needs. Enjoy flexible lease terms, competitive rates, and a same-day simple leasing process that requires no credit checks and guarantees trailers with no recap tires. Just fill out an online application, have your lease agreement prepared, receive a call to arrange pickup, sign the agreement, hook up, and get on the road all in one day. Visit ParamountTrailerLeasing.com today, and also you get free breaks for the lifetime of your lease just by mentioning Truck and Hustle. All right, y'all, let's go. And what was your job?
My job was supposed to be water purification.
Okay. Is that the job you take when you don't want to have to dodge bullets?
Man, they had a guy on a brochure. He didn't have on any war paint. There was no gun in the picture, any of that. He was in a lab coat and holding up a beaker, looking at it in the light. I said, that's me.
That's you.
I mean, because if I wanted to dodge bullets, I stayed in Port Arthur, you know?
Right.
But that just did not happen the way that I planned it.
Yeah.
And when you on the road, you know, when you see trucks coming in and out of ports, I mean, it's the same as what the military did, in addition to getting shot at or bombs thrown at you or rolling over bombs, you know. So, I mean, logistics is the same everywhere you go. Commodities got to get from one place to another place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's point A to point B. Sometimes it's point A, point B, and point C, you know, depending on throughput.
That's right.
You know, so it was just an easy fit for me.
So you said you initially joined, you were going to do water purification, but what happened? Because that's not what you ended up doing.
I ended up being in transportation. I didn't know that water purification was attached to transportation. So you got to purify water at one place and travel it to another, you know? So trucking became what I did. You know, whether you on the gun, you know, while you in the truck, you got to get the commodities from one area to another, you know, and that's pretty much what it is. Warehousing, all of that, it rolls into one, you know.
And where were you stationed?
Oh, man. Let's see. I was in Fort Hood, went from Fort Hood to Iraq, back to Hood to Korea for 2 years, Korea to Tennessee to Iraq, back to Tennessee, prayed not to go to Afghanistan, was going to drill sergeant school. I said no. And so they sent me to Germany for 2 years, and then I took a position in Mississippi, and from Mississippi to Texas, Alabama, and then I retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your biggest takeaway from your experience and your time in the military? What did you learn, or what you know, just in general, overall?
I learned so much in the military, but the most thing I learned was nothing works without people. You take care of the people take care of the mission, and then the mission take care of you. But it's generally all about the people. Even with the expansion in Port Arthur, why are you pushing for the expansion so hard? Well, if we expand on the land, we're not an automated port, right? So if you expand on the land, you get in more cargo. More cargo means more people put to work, more people able to take care of their families.
Right.
Because it's all about the people.
Right. And that's how we fix the problem. Right?
That's how you fix a problem.
Yeah.
You know, you don't give out free turkeys and free stuff all the time. You give them a job so a man can take care of himself and his family. You know, and indirectly, you building pride of the place. You know, how you talk about Bum B and Pimp C, and most people from Port Arthur, they smile when you talk about that, you know. But we had a school that we all on that side of town went to, Lincoln High School. And we was all proud of that high school. And I want people to have that type of pride about the entire city. You know, some people hear the name Port Arthur and don't realize there's a port in Port Arthur. Yeah, I wanted to bring that to the forefront because it used to be a real big mariner town. at one point in time, you know. Real big seaport town. And I don't see no reason why that shouldn't come back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
When you retired from the military, what was the first thing that you did? Did you know what your career path would be after the military?
When I retired from the military, it was the month after I was elected into office.
Okay.
So I was actually...
So you were in office before you retired?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of had your career path already set.
It's logistics. Why change it? You know what I'm saying? It can take you around the world, you know. But and also I was in the horses. Still am in horses. So I owned a feed store. I owned a whole bunch of horses.
This was while you were in the military?
No, this is when I retired.
Okay, so
I mean, this is when I come. So when you retire, you have a period,
like a grace period.
Yeah, of coming home and like, you know, you just home. You know,
right. You're still in the military, but you're living like a civilian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in between that time, plus I retired because my father asked me to retire, and then he passed. You know, during the time of me retiring.
Yeah.
But it was cool though, you know. I think when people know they're gonna check out, they try to put controls into place to help the family keep going.
Right.
So, you know, I opened up my feed store, and that was a beautiful experience. And I also got elected in the office, and then a month after that, I retired from the military, you know.
Now, how do you get elected into office? I mean, why were you considered, like, why they choose you as opposed to anybody else? I mean, I'm sure you had to be doing something on the ground for them to look to you for that leadership role.
Well, I think that's a kind of tough question. I guess I don't know. That's a question I would have to ask the people. Why me? You know, I know it's God's plan. I know that, you know, especially with this re-election, let me really know and let a lot of people really know that I'm operating in God's plan and in God's timing. And I'm on time, you know what I'm saying? Things are happening right now. I tell you, when I got reelected, then I'll go back to your question.
Sure.
When I got reelected, it was about 7 or 8 people that ran against me.
I want to introduce to you guys the Truck and Hustle Entrepreneurs Community, a powerful network built for transportation and logistics entrepreneurs by transportation and logistics entrepreneurs who really get it. Whether you're just getting started or looking to build, grow, and scale, TNHEC gives you the roadmap and resources to make it happen. From business planning to real industry connections, expert insights, and a support system that wants to see you win, we've got you covered. Nah, this isn't another Facebook group. This is Truck and Hustle's first ever official community, and it's designed for your success. So, if you're serious about growing your business in transportation and logistics, now is the time. Join the Truck and Hustle Entrepreneurs community today, and let's build something special and amazing together. Let's go.
I was like, where did all these jokers come from? Half y'all don't even know what deport do.
Right.
One of my older friends told me, man, you just make it look too good and make it look too easy. I'm like, well, they don't understand all the background work. You know, they don't understand private Martin, sleeping at the drift, getting ready to enter into the port, loading up vehicles, and certain things that you learn in the military that's direct with the port that you don't really realize you're learning. You're just following orders. You know, you're just following procedures on how the port want things tied down to trucks and how to, you know, it's all of that just wrapped into it. You don't realize you're learning a skill set. You're just following orders.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the military gave me a leg up from a lot of other people.
Okay.
Because I can speak logistics all day long. I'm not saying it's not fascinating. It just became a way of life. You know, it was detrimental to get products and services from one place to another when you're in Iraq. I mean, I talk about water, but we had a lot of other commodities that we moved across the battlefield. You know, just imagine needing something and you in the forefront of the battle and you waiting on these guys to truck it to you. Now logistics becomes real.
That's right.
Yeah, now it's life or death. You know, we don't look at it like that in the civilian world, but it's the same thing. At the Port of Port Arthur, one of our main products is eucalyptus pulp. You know what eucalyptus pulp makes?
Explain to me.
It is the raw product that makes toilet paper. I don't know nobody who don't need toilet paper.
That's right. That's right.
We got this joke. We said we touch everybody in America in a very special place. That's what we do. That's one of our main products. I mean, and we have lumber that comes in. I mean, these things are just, I want to say embedded in you once you live in it. You know, it's not just like something you learn. It's just something you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope I answered your question.
No. You definitely did. So my next question is, when you became commissioner, what did things look like, and what was the first thing that you looked to change? What were some of the changes that you looked to make?
First thing I did when I became commissioner was myself and another commissioner, we constructed a policy along with our lawyer that included minority-owned companies, woman-owned companies, veteran-owned companies, disabled veteran-owned companies, all these different business to give them an opportunity to be a part of the port, you know, and they would be, you know, looked at on, not necessarily on a higher tier group, but we would know, okay, this person is bidding and they're this type of company. That gives them an opportunity. A disabled veteran, if I had a business that was conducive to the port's, you know, everyday fit, then they would give me an exceptional look on my business when I get to bidding on you know, bids that come out.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing I did.
Why was it important for that to be the first step that you took?
For one, it was the port needed to be covered. You know, we didn't have that type of policy, and I'm like, hey, you know, somebody can. I mean, government everywhere else have those policies put in place, and here it is. You know, we are quasi-government type of entity, and we don't have this put in place. And then it was like, well, there's a lot of veterans here in Port Arthur, but I can't just say, well, we're building a veteran program because we need to build a program for minority. The word minority covers a lot of different areas.
For sure.
You know, and people needed work. Some people don't want to go to work. Some people don't want a job, but they don't mind working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I have a business, I'm not at a job, but I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing my father told me: if they're not hiring, create a job for yourself.
So prior to that, were a lot of the opportunities kind of being monopolized? Like it was just spread out across a couple of different companies, and it wasn't, you know.
It wasn't I'm gonna say when I first got on board, it wasn't necessarily community based. Okay. You know what I mean? Like they didn't look at, well, let's see what's going on in the community, how we can better the community. It was a closed subculture within itself. And I'm like, man, if someone in this city has the ability to do the work that we need to be done, let's put them to work.
Yeah.
You know? Let's put their company to work. So I'm hoping, like, say you got a company in Port Arthur, right? I'm hoping that if you're not from Port Arthur, that you would still hire Port Arthur people. You know, that was my interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And did it work?
Yes, it worked. Yeah, we got a vendor list and it's growing, and more people are going to work, and more people, you can see the pride coming back to the city. Even with this expansion that we're doing, you know, we went from, within the time that I was elected, we went from, I want to say 2 or 3 berths, that's the docks,
yep,
to 6. Now we're working towards 10. Yeah.
Nice.
And we're working on the backland area to support those docks.
And what type of job opportunities or vendor opportunities are those, just for people watching, to understand like what type of small businesses are working with the port?
So, I mean, we have so many small businesses working with the port. We have, let's talk about a lot. So the college has its own trucking school, get your CDL license. So I'm seeing people from the time that I got back home, they have gotten their CDL license going through Lamar State College, and I believe the EDC actually pays for the license.
The license, yep.
And I'm seeing them on trucks coming in out the port. You know, it's a good thing when I'm walking out the port and somebody hit their horn, you know, or holler at me out the window, right, and I know who that guy is.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I know I had a guy that worked gonna tell you a real story, all right?
For sure.
Had a guy, I've only known him to sell drugs. Like growing up, I've seen him. He's an older guy. I know he sold drugs. But he stopped at my grandmother's house and told me thank you. Showed me his paycheck just for being a longshoreman. He said, man, I ain't never made this much money in one day. Because we support the military, right? And when the military comes in town, they work on like a rolling clock. I started to ask them, y'all got some room for me to go to work? I can squeeze y'all in my schedule. They're not really working hard, but they're working consistently.
Right.
You know, and that's a big thing to see somebody be able to take care of their family and not have to look over their shoulders, not have to worry about, man, I'm doing something wrong. What does this, you know, even the look of it, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see people going to work and proud of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So that was the first thing you implemented. And I talked about, you know, like what did you see when you got there? So what were some of the other changes you kind of made as you continued, you know?
Man, when you come down to Port Arthur, it looked like a war zone. All these abandoned buildings. So I said, to expand, what we're going to do, two parts. We're going to buy buildings, tear them down if necessary. Otherwise, build them out, rent them out, lease them to different companies like an engineering company. We had a distillery downtown at one point in time, and we leased them a building. The guy was retired from the military, and he wanted to start a liquor distillery, a whiskey distillery, and we leased him the building to start his business off. You know, we got engineering firms going up right now, you know, downtown Port Arthur. And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and they're hiring people from Port Arthur. So I said, with this expansion, it has to be inclusion of the people in Port Arthur.
That's right.
We can't just expand and exclude the people. We have to be, you know, have them included into our plan. Like when we go into talking about the expansion of Port Arthur, the people of Port Arthur is at the forefront of our thoughts. I mean, I'm the president of the board now, so it's easier to carry that type of water, because if it's not about Port Arthur, then what is it about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. When we talk about expansion, we also have to talk about funding.
Right.
Right? How do you guys get the funding to do these projects, and how is it a difficult process for you, or does the government want to invest in Port Arthur? Talk about that.
So we are a strategic port, meaning the military uses us to move their cargo from place to place, right? So we get grants, and also we don't just talk about it, we put our money where our mouth is. The port actually uses its funds to purchase properties to, you know, it's kind of, some of those deals are like you got to match them. So we put our money to match them. Now, right now we're working on a $92 million bond election. It's coming up in November. And now we're asking the people to support our bond election. It's going to change the trajectory of Port Arthur. It's going to change the way that it looks. That side of town, we're building a bridge over UPKC, matter of fact.
Okay.
They're railhead. They have a railhead down there, and we're building a bridge so trucks can get in the port and out of the port much easier. You know, the flow of traffic is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, when you have all this experience of going to this port, that port, the port of Atlanta, like looking at all of these cars, and in Germany, seeing the ports there, you know, in Kuwait, seeing the ports there. Everywhere you went, there's a port. And you don't really understand that's the way commodities get to you. You know, we didn't understand that until COVID, right?
That's true.
Now the world understands.
Then it became a buzzword and things that...
Supply chain issue.
Right, supply chain issues. Exactly.
Everybody said
everybody's
supply
talking
chain
about
issue. What does the issue wasn't necessarily that the supplies wasn't there. It was getting the supplies to the people.
Yeah.
Because you got ships out in the intercoastal waterway waiting to come into port. Everywhere shared the same issue. We have to get these ships in. Now we're working on getting larger ships into the port of Port Arthur.
Yeah.
So we got a bridge problem. Where our bridge is at. I guess when it was built, they didn't think about that. It probably was good. It probably was good 20-year plan. They didn't think about ships being larger today than what they was yesterday, so they can't go underneath the bridge. So what we're planning on doing is expanding our berths, to the right side of the bridge, to where we're closer to the intercoastal waterway and they don't even have to go underneath the bridge, And the backlands is what supports the berths, because you can have all these docks but nowhere to put the commodities at. Warehousing. More warehousing mean more people. More people going to work, more people making money, more people staying out of trouble too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I say when you have too much trouble going on, that means nobody's working hard. Yeah.
So this is a project that you guys are working on.
It's a project that we're doing.
That's happening right now.
That's the beautiful part about it.
Okay.
We're not just talking about what we're going to do. We're talking about what we are doing.
Yeah.
Most of the time you hear politicians talking. I don't consider myself a politician, but you hear politicians talk about what they plan on doing.
Right.
No, this is what we're actively doing right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Talk about some of the challenges, because an undertaking like that's a huge project, right? You're widening water and you have to do dredging and all different things like that. Talk about how the difficulties and the challenges of a project like that and how long it takes.
I think time is the challenge. Time.
Not enough time in the day, huh?
Not enough time in the day. Not enough. I wish you could slow it down on movies, like on movies where, some of those movies where they pause the movie and then the guy go off and do things.
Right.
And then he
come back and just start it off.
And then it's done.
Everything's done. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. Like, it's not enough time in a 12-hour day to get a lot of the work done. We have, you have ships coming in. Most of the time things happen before sunset. What kind of time is that?
Yeah.
I think that's our biggest constraint, time.
How does it impact operations with doing work and trying to expand at the same time?
Well, right now we're in the process of get this, tearing down our main business office.
Okay.
Because the main business office is smack dab in the middle of operations.
So it gotta go.
Gotta go. That's ugly, right?
Yeah.
Because now what we gotta do, we gotta go into a trailer. Most people don't
Everybody's uncomfortable now.
Everybody's uncomfortable and it ain't pretty. Everybody want to be pretty. Nobody want to get down to business. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, whatever it takes to make this work is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm at with it. Like, we got to move all the obstacles that could be a problem. Because I'm not glazing over your question. We don't really have very many problems right now because of transparency. Like I said, with quasi-government, meaning the federal government has oversight over what we do and what we don't do with the money that they give us. And I don't know anybody who wants to go to jail, so we do the right thing with the money. That's a big deal.
For sure.
I mean, that might seem like a small statement, but you want to know what got put off there in the state that is in right now?
Misappropriation
of funds.
Yeah.
You just about said it.
Yeah.
But working for Uncle Sam almost all my life, I know he's not one you want to play with.
That's right.
He'll take everything.
That's right.
He'll take everything, and you'll be in an orange jumpsuit or whatever color they're in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Talk to me so the audience understands. What are the main imports and exports of your port? Mostly the exports, because we export petroleum, right?
Right.
So can you kind of talk about the different exports?
We have LNG. We have
which is huge now.
Yeah.
Right. Everything's getting converted over to LNG now, as opposed to the other, traditional fuels.
Right.
Okay.
We also have wood pellets. So, in Europe, other places, they use wood pellets for in place of petroleum let's say, for heating of homes. Now, I think in Germany, they use oil for heating of homes, but now they're going to wood pellets, clean energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we use it everywhere but in Port Arthur.
Of course.
Don't you talk about clean energy.
Of course.
Yeah, but then you have the eucalyptus pulp that comes in and it goes down to Mexico to make toilet paper. Yeah, we was actually looking at getting a manufacturer in Texas so that, when it comes into Texas, it actually just goes straight to manufacturer. Yeah. But, certain things are more cost effective going back down to Mexico. Yeah.
Right. How has the geopolitical climate impacted things at the port? There's a lot going on. Everyone I talk to here is talking about, the big word is
Say it.
uncertainty.
Say the T word.
Uncertain tariffs. Uncertainty, tariffs. That's all you hear everywhere. So how has that impacted you guys?
It gave us an opportunity. It gave us an opportunity to open our foreign trade zones. Now we've
And expound on that,
Yeah.
just a little bit deeper if you could.
Yeah, so we've opened our foreign trade zones that saves people on tariffs, because it's not, when you have a foreign trade zone, right, it's not necessarily in America yet. Whatever that commodity is still in transit, so to speak. So it saves you for spending that type of money to move your commodity when you have a foreign trade zone. So Port Arthur, it makes us more, what can I say? Attractive, yeah. It makes us more attractive to our customers and other customers to move products through our foreign trade zone, aluminum foreign trade zone. This eucalyptus pulp that I'm talking about. All of these things, we can activate our whole port to be within the foreign trade zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting when you say that, because a lot of people don't realize that ports have to do marketing also, right? Like, you guys have to sell yourselves.
Right.
Like, a lot of people just assume like, okay, it's a port. Like, you kind of have to use them,
Somebody
right?
coming.
Somebody's coming at some point, and it is what it is. But you guys have to market yourself out there to be attractive.
Right.
Just
Because
like
Beaumont is right up
any
the
other
street.
business. Exactly.
Yeah, Houston's right up the street also. And one of the biggest, I want to say, our biggest customer is Uncle Sam. One of the biggest vehicles moving in and out of our port. And we're making ourselves more attractive even to the military with this expansion. You want to move a heavy combat brigade. Right now, we couldn't handle it, but we can handle pieces of a heavy combat brigade. So we are in the process of expanding our port to handle a heavy combat brigade. And like you say, marketing. Once we get this pat down with the Army, so we're just talking about Army right now. What about Marines? What about Navy? What about even, Coast Guard moves pieces of equipment too here and there.
Yeah.
All of these different facets of the military will be able to move through our port. Yeah.
Got it. What does your day-to-day look like now? We talked about what you did when you first came in and all the changes that you made, but what are you working on today?
Just this expansion that's on the forefront of our mind. Every day is something. Every day I'm running back and forth to maybe the title office to sign some paperwork because we purchased some property from someone to expand on. I mean, this bridge is one thing that's right at our forefront. Next 26, we're going to start building on this bridge. You got a railhead right here, and you have a levee wall that keeps you from entering into the port maybe twice a day, because you can get caught by the same train twice in Port Arthur, believe it or not. It can be the same train going, and you can catch it on the other end of the rail side. And you're like, man, I done got caught by the same train twice a day.
Wow.
So we building a bridge, simply building a bridge over that rail track onto the docks. So someone who's offloading cargo will be able to pull right out of with the ship, cross that bridge to a warehouse.
Yeah.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy.
Yeah.
What's the relationship like between ports? Like I said earlier, there's like 13 ports in Texas, Port of Houston, and so forth and so on, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys interface with each other to assist and each other with what's,
Hey, Port of Houston's
imports?
a big dog.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, big old dog.
That's for sure.
When growing up, you knew you don't walk by the big dog, right? They have a thing of their own going on in Houston. Galveston is a travel port pretty much, And here's something that's interesting. There's a place called Gulf Copper. They're being, I hope I'm supposed to say this.
Okay.
They're being purchased by Davies Shipyard. Davies Shipyard is right on the waterway here.
So are they building ships?
They're gonna start building ships in
wow.
Galveston and in Port Arthur.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's big.
yeah, that's huge.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that question because I totally forgot about that. The workload, they're gonna need. I think they said they're gonna add maybe 100, 200 people to their staff.
Oh, wow.
With the staff that they already have, they're not getting rid of anybody. They're keeping the staff, and they're gonna add a couple hundred people to the staff.
Wow.
Man, there's more people going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I'm hearing about, there's just we're in Philadelphia area, and there's a new shipyard over there. There's a company called Hanwha, I believe it's called, that purchased the shipyard over there in Philly, and they're building ships over there. So it's like this thing that they're talking about, like, America first,
Right.
Building ships in America. Like, we're starting to realize it. Like, it's starting to happen. You're starting to see it kind of come to fruition a bit. So it's interesting.
I think we're right at a brink of a global shift, and like I say, when Port Arthur straighten up, the world will straighten up.
Right.
And that's serious. I say it jokingly sometimes, but I mean, I really mean it. Like, we're the largest refinery. We're the first port that you enter into out of the intercoastal waterway coming out of the Panama Canal. Like, this is a big deal. And I'm just feel blessed, more or less, to be a part of it. It's not something that I'm doing alone. It's something that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
And I put God first on the things that I do. I actually pray to God about my decisions, or to help me with my decisions, because we're talking about people's lives here. Whether it's their work life or whether it's their everyday life. Just all the what word I'm looking for? Just the way that people live in Port Arthur.
Right.
We're enhancing the way people live in Port Arthur.
Yeah.
I had people tell me, man, y'all doing such a good job. And we only just started tearing down buildings. You correcting the blight of the city. You know how it is when you see something beautiful, it changes the way that you view things. It actually changes your facial expression when you see something beautiful.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And I'm like, just because we are industrial town doesn't mean it has to look like somebody dropped bombs on us. No. We can actually fix this place and make it better. I'm not trying to make it what it was. I'm trying to make it better than it's ever been.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And with the help of the people of Port Arthur, we could do that. That should have been my campaign speech.
I love it. When you come to an event like this, man, what is your goal? What are you trying to do or trying to accomplish when you come?
Man, I feel like it gives me an advantage because I get an opportunity to see the good and bad of people's experiences. I can have takeaways. I go here and I soak up so much knowledge. The biggest meeting is in the hallways, honestly. When you meet this person and they talk about their personal experiences at their port and what they did, lessons learned and takeaways, because that's what we're here to learn, right? Most thing they talk about is things that they've already done,
Yeah.
And lessons learned is a big thing. I believe I don't have to make the same mistake that this person made. I can see what they did and what they did wrong and what I could do better. Yeah.
That's right. Could you share maybe a conversation or, that's not too private that you may have had here that may be something that you take away from the conference?
You know what? This might not be what you're asking, but at lunch just now, a gentleman asked me a question that made me sit back. And he asked me, what am I doing now that makes me smile? Like, in my walk as a commissioner, what am I doing now that makes me smile? And it was a question that I wouldn't say I wasn't ready for. I didn't think that's what he was going to ask me. I thought he was going to ask me more of a question about industry, right? But it's just to be able to be in a point to where you can change people's lives, to where the things that people view in Port Arthur, you can change the view of the whole city just by your position and what you do. Shift left or right, you do the wrong thing, you can make it worse. You do the right thing, you can make it better, And that's something that make me smile. And that's something that I'm going to take that question and ask many more people in Port Arthur, what are you doing that makes you smile? Or what are you doing that can help other people smile? You know, with the job that we doing. The job is outlined. The job is a job. And if you don't do your job, that's dereliction of duty, right? And I don't believe in that. You know, it's always duty first. And I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my job, Port Arthur. But I want to see people happy and smiling. I want to see people lofty, you know, and laughing and having a good time while they're doing their job.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big deal for me.
I think that's an amazing way to close out this discussion, man. I typically ask for a final thought, but I feel like that might have been it.
Yeah,
I want to thank you, man, for sitting down with me, man. This has been a really, really great conversation. It's honestly everything I thought it would be.
I
you
appreciate
carry
you,
yourself with the aura of just intelligence and just like, you know, just I could see you just you're a watcher. Just observant, and you're very relaxed and calm and peaceful. I don't know where that comes from, being in the military, but you have a calm about you that let me know this was going to be a very good discussion.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, sir.
so much.
Listen, Hustle Fam, this has been another amazing episode. I am sitting with the Commissioner of Port Arthur. Make sure you go check out Port Arthur, man. Go check out the community.
I'm not only the commissioner, I'm the commissioner's president.
The commissioner's president.
I'm the president of the board. I couldn't believe in myself, y'all.
That's right. And who knows what's next, man? We need people like this in places to make change. I appreciate you, Randy, man. Thank you so much for this discussion.
Yeah.
I will make sure we'll send you all this footage.
Yeah,
so
send me the link, man. I hope
and we got to come to Port
Arthur,
Arthur,
y'all got my pretty side. Y'all
listen, can we get an invite to Port Arthur?
Man, you got it. Come on down, man.
I got you. This is recorded, man. We gonna come behind the scenes, check it out.
Yeah,
we gonna make
come
it
to
happen.
a board meeting.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
the same guy in the meetings.
I believe it. Let's do it. So
really
thank
nice
you so
to meet
much,
you,
man. I
you
appreciate
and your crew.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Hustle fam, we are out. All right, y'all, listen, I'm happy to announce that we finally launched our YouTube memberships. Listen, if you want to support Truck and Hustle for all the hard work that we've been doing over the past 5 years, this is where you need to be. As a part of our memberships, number one, you'll get exclusive access to all of our archive content. Number two, we'll be doing at least one live webinar with one of the guests or somebody else from our network that you love to continue to add value to you and your business. Third, we'll be having exclusive behind the scenes content that we shoot and doesn't, make the final cut. So make sure you go check it out. Get that subscription right now and join us, man. TNH forever. Let's go. All right, guys, if you love Truck and Hustle and you love the interviews and the information that we're providing week to week, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, Hustle fam.